Streaming on Channel 7, mate. It's on 7, mate, most weekends, isn't it?
Most weekends, yeah. Check your local guides, but there's normally a couple hits, Saturdays and Sundays, various times around midday, so sort of 12 through maybe 2. Just check your local guides and you'll be able to see previous Timber Sports championships from, going back sort of through to 2018, 2019.
Yeah, we've got a few in the book, which is very exciting.
World trophies, world championships too. Always, the Chopperoos are always featuring. Brad DeLosa, Lawrence O'Toole, and the gang are always in the individual championships as well. Brad DeLosa representing Australia in the World Trophy last year in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Oof.
I have to say that a few times.
What's Gothenburg, Sweden known for, mate?
Goats.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, it's in the name, quite literally. Didn't even pause on that one,
and Swedish meatballs.
Perfect.
Made from goat.
All right. So
all of that's made up.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to embellish the truth.
Please refer to Wikipedia. What it's known for is hosting the World Championship last year.
There we go.
So we've got 12 male competitors through, right? So the top 4, think of like the AFL draw. The top 4 there are safe. They're going to advance through. And the bottom 8 of the 12 will play off for positions. So then of that bottom 8, the 4 winners there will take on the original top 4. And then it's a round robin.
Absolutely.
And it's elimination game. From here, it's elimination.
You just hear the chainsaws warming up the back. So while we're obviously waiting, why don't we just have a quick little look at obviously who we got competing today. So let's run through them down. So we've got Gillian Stratton, of course, Jodie Butel, Debbie, I never pronounced her last name. Clissold, yep. And Katrina Head, wife of Jimmy or James Head. Renee Redslag, I think she came 2nd or 3rd last time. And then, of course, Amanda Beams, who tore through the competition, who 2 years ago had a few DQs, but last year came back with a vengeance and took out the Australian Championship trophy.
Didn't look like losing it from the second that she picked up
stage.
a chainsaw.
Yeah,
I think she won every single.
Yeah, I think it was only one she came. I think one came 2nd in.
Yeah, we'll check that. But Amanda
pretty convincing. And was
Amanda Beams pushing through last year, getting it done.
Yeah, okay, so I've just heard in my ear that we've only got probably 2 minutes to go until we get the ladies on stage. So if you are in and around the crowd, walking down the beach at this beautiful 27 degrees, come on in, grab some food, grab some drink, grab a seat, because we've got the Australian champion women's coming up in under a minute's time.
Ready for any challenge. Battery power by STIHL. Only from your local STIHL dealer.
Righto, Tim. STIHL blowers. STIHL trimmers. And this STIHL battery pruner, only available from... Still learning. STIHL battery tools. STIHL only from STIHL dealers.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, very exciting stuff. The stream, Dan, has begun. So where are we streaming to?
All over the world. It's the internet, guys. Wherever you get the internet, you can get STIHL Timbersports. We're live right now. And it's a big welcome here from Glen Elgin, South Australia. It's about 27 degrees here, guys. I don't want to rub it in.
Picture perfect.
I've just looked up the temperature in Berlin.
How's it looking? Balmy temperature in Berlin? What is it right now?
It's 3 degrees, but don't worry. It feels like -2.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, Berlin.
Slip, slop, slap, Berlin. Slip, slop, slap.
It's freezing here.
Okay. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we, of course, are here for the STIHL Timbersports, the international extreme sports competition now, which is obviously held in 26 countries around the globe. And today we've got 6 of Australia's best premier female athletes.
That's it. We've just had the time trials for the men's. We're going to have the men's trophy coming up very shortly. We've whittled it down for the live stream. You won't have seen that, but we'll get to the main competition shortly. But it's the women's Australian trophy right now with 6 competitors who are going to join us on stage shortly. Ladies and gents who are live here at Glenelg, are we excited? Oh, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Alrighty, let's get proceedings underway. So take a look at the screens, and we're going to see how the women's competition is going to go down today.
To win the title, the top 6 women will compete in 3 disciplines. They include the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the single buck. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. The difference of 1 point applies to each discipline. 6 points will be awarded for each discipline, and the winner will be crowned with the most points.
Alrighty, fantastic stuff. Down now, very, very exciting. Who have we got doing our judging for today?
Yeah, on stage today, making the calls, we've got our judges, Simon Holmes from Victoria, Steve Lorenz from New South Wales, Matt Hura from over the ditch, or Dutch, in New Zealand, and all the way from the UK. Very grateful to have this man aboard, our global judge, Andy Hall. Big round of applause.
And of course, we got Shane Maxwell looking after all the athletes as our sport director. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give a big round of applause and welcome our 2023 Australian Women's Championship athletes. Who have we got for today? Mr. Anstey.
Our first female athlete placed 5th in 2017 and 2018 in the Women's Championship. She's now back to claim a spot in the top 3 from Mudgeeraba, Queensland. It's Gillian Stratton.
Alrighty, fantastic stuff. She placed 1st in the 2018 Women's Championships and is now back after a 2-year gap. From Tamworth, New South Wales, make some noise for Debbie Glissel.
Next up, she's a master of the stock saw and made the podium in the 3rd place in 2019 in the Women's Championship. Will she make the podium this year? Let's hope so. From Redcliffe, Queensland, Katrina Head.
Alrighty, she came 4th place in last year's Women's Championship, the holder of the stock saw and single buck national record from Crow's Nest, Queensland, Jodie Vitale.
She's been a runner-up twice. Can she make the step to the top of the podium this year? Another Queenslander from Kilcoy, Renee Retschlag.
Alrighty, and last but certainly not least, she is the current reigning Women's Championship. She came 2nd in the International Women's Cup in Vienna, Austria last year. The current world record holder in the underhand chop from Tasmania. Make some noise for Amanda Beamsy Beams.
Also joining us here today, the live streamers won't know this, but AFL champion BT Brian Taylor's going to be here for the Europeans watching. AFL's like soccer, but much, much harder.
Okay, and that'll probably be a strike on our name. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time to timber. Check out the screen to see what these disciplines are all about.
The underhand chop resembles the old school technique of cutting felled trees down to size. After removing approximately 50% of the front side, they pirouette to the back, devastating their block with power and precision, eventually driving the wood in two.
Alrighty, fantastic stuff. Now, before we, of course, get the competition underway, BT, you in the crowd there somewhere?
Yes, I'm over here, actually. Sir, can you believe they don't wear steel cap toes? They just wear the Dunlop volleys.
No, that's right.
Is this the first time you've seen something like this?
I used to do it years ago, so...
Oh, did you? You're pretty good. What was your favourite discipline?
Underhand.
Underhand, very good. What about you, sir? You're sitting up the back here looking very happy with yourself. How you going? What's going on with you?
I just come for a look from Mount Gambier.
What are you looking forward to seeing?
Oh, just a bit of axe action.
Bit of axe action. There's plenty of axe action here. What about you, young man? What about you? What you loving this today?
Yes.
What's the favourite part about it?
Chainsaw.
Yeah, and they're very, very good. We've got I think six of the best women to come, so let's get stuck into that.
All right, thanks, BT. Dan, very exciting stuff. Who's your pick for today, mate?
Well, it's hard to go past Amanda Beams, isn't it? The form she was in last year. She seems fired up. She was happy to be on stage. Yeah. Katrina Head as well. Always throw her in the mix, but Beansy's going to be very tough to beat, mate.
I think we're nearly ready to rock and roll to get this heat underway. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's heat number 1. Make some noise for Gillian Stratton and Jodie Butel.
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And off they go, chopping, getting things underway. This, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is the Women's Australian Trophy Championship, heat number 1. We've got Gillian Stratton on stand 1 and Jodie Butel on number 2. Nice. As we sort of spoke about earlier, Dan, they go with that clockwise sort of motion, sort of a 4-hit pattern. So top right, bottom right, lower left, top left.
And then turn to the back, put the drivers in. Get through.
Yep.
And then
on
to the next.
As BT made a good point there, it is crazy. They just weather the Dunlop boys. They do have the chainmail socks underneath, so if it does go through, you're not going to get one through.
Yeah, the Dunlop volleys don't provide a lot of protection.
Got to watch out for those flying wood chops there as you can see them coming through. So they're going to look to put a little bit different to the guys. They'll probably put a few extra hits in. The guys will rangely go from 8 to a 12-hit pattern before flicking around. There we go.
Gillian Stratton, first time appearing in this format. It's an OPB here, but Jodie Butel, personal best, 55.98. Current best, 1 minute 76 from last year.
Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get these ladies through. First heat, very exciting stuff. We want to see a good time here. Working through at 122. You want to keep this thing under 2 minutes.
Gillian Stratton here on stand A. Get behind her, ladies and gents. Let's get it done. Six women going to be on stage. 3 different heats for the underhand chop. Then we'll move on to the stock saw and the single buck.
Working through it nicely. Make some noise for it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it through for this last bit.
Almost there. A couple more. Maybe one more.
Put the drivers in. There it is.
There it is.
Nice work. It's all done.
Go, Gillian.
Might need
You
one
can
more
do
hit.
it.
There it is.
Beautiful work.
Just pause for effect there, boys.
Building suspense. Love to see it. Never give up. That's what STIHL Timbersports is all about.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll get the athletes to the front of the stage and we'll hand it over to the judges for the official decision. I think just from looking at those times, the time might be just outside the qualifying times, but we'll hand it over to Steve Lorenz for the official Heat 1 decision.
We've got a good cut on stand B, DQ on stand A. She's going over the 2-minute time limit.
All righty, there we go. Give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right, while we get the second heat set up, of course, what we have Debbie Clissold and Katrina Head. Katrina is the partner of Jimmy Head, who's actually not competing today.
No, Jimmy today from Queensland.
Do we know why he's here? Do we know why he's not competing?
He's here to support Katrina. I think they've realised the real talent in the family. So the women on the stock saw have an assistant in there to do the wedging for the single buck, when they've got the misery whip out, the big single buck, so they can wedge and lubricate the saw.
Yep.
So I think we'll see Jimmy up on stage with Katrina then.
BT, now that you've seen the 4 disciplines, if you had to rate yourself in terms of which one, if you just had to give one of them a go, What would you go for?
I would go for the chainsaw because it's mechanically, and I'm a mechanic sort of minded person.
Now, which one wouldn't you want to do, BT?
Which one wouldn't I want to do? I reckon the saw, the crosscut.
The single bucks.
That just looks absolutely incredibly hard, and so does the chop. Both the chops are hard.
Well, the clues in the nickname for the single buck, the misery whip.
Yeah, the misery whip.
Yeah.
And they
It's
all
a
look,
shocker.
everyone that's had a crack, they all look a little afraid of it, don't they? They're very nervous when they pick up the whip.
Not this thing again.
All righty, looks like we're ready to get this Heat 2 underway, boys. So without further ado, can we please welcome to the stage Debbie Clissold and Katrina Head.
So slightly different to the men's format. As we know now, we're going to take the individual disciplines one by one and then add those scores up for a final total and crown our women's Australian Trophy champion for 2023.
Alrighty, beautiful stuff. Looks like the ladies are nearly ready to rock and roll. We're going to hand it over to the judges to get this second heat underway.
Okay, athletes ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off and chopping. It's Jody on stand number 1. Sorry, it's Debbie on stand number 1 and Katrina on number 2. You're going to obviously look to with the hit patterns. I think we're going to go more like a 14 to 18 hit pattern. PBs?
Yeah, well, Debbie set her PB last year.
Yep.
57.28.
Yep.
Katrina Head 48.41. Last year, it was just a smidge under 50 seconds, 49.90.
Yeah, and I think BT was talking to the other guys at the back there. The wood does seem a little bit trickier than remember last year it was a little softer. A few records did break. This wood appears to be a little bit tougher. A few not so favourable knots getting in there. But the girls looking nice here. Beautiful technique. Katrina working through it beautifully on stand number 2. And, of course, Debbie on stand number 1 in the purple working through it. If they can keep these times under a minute 30, I think they're going to be in the ballpark for some things.
And there it is.
Bang. I'll just shut up.
That's going to be a PB, guys.
52 seconds, unofficial time and a PB. 53 for Katrina Head. Give him a big round of applause. Glenelg, Adelaide.
That's what you want to be doing, posting PBs. I think we're going to see a new PB here for Debbie. If all the cuts are good, which we're going to find out about in just a sec with our judges, as the athletes make their way to the stage.
Both cuts were good.
There it is. Give him a round of applause. Nice work. So, all right. So while we're getting the next one set up, Dan, it's probably a good time to discuss obviously the points and how that's going to work, and we can get our very ordinary maths brains on.
Yeah. So we'll get the athletes up on the screen soon. We'll see how they're seated for this round. Is discipline. And then we'll do it again for the next discipline. Add all the points together.
Yep.
Most points wins, right?
How many points is it? So is it 6? Yeah, 6. So
number of athletes.
Now,
6, 3, 1.
Why the DQs are so bad is because obviously you come last, you get that 1 point. If it's nice, neck and neck at the end there, you can get very close. You get a DQ. DQ City population 0.
0 points. So if there's a couple DQs, you'll have 0-0. Then you'll start at 3 for whoever comes in 4th place.
Alrighty, so we've got, of course, heat number 3, our final heat. I keep saying heats, but it's really just the quality. So heat number 3, Renee Redslake and Amanda Beams. Look at the PBs on these guys, fellas. 34.62 and 31. Quick, very quick.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I reckon
quicker than you and I combined, guys. Here we go.
I reckon you and I with 2 chops wouldn't.
We could be standing back to back, working on both sides of the wood, and we couldn't do it in 30 seconds.
Wouldn't that be a look?
So there's what we're looking at thus far. So as we mentioned before, the DQ sadly is 0. So regardless of where we fall on the leaderboard, there'll be 0 points for a DQ.
Alrighty, I think
looking
we're
at heat number 3 in discipline 1 here, guys.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Just waiting for the official thumbs up from the guys. Yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big Glenelg South Australian welcome for our final competitors in heat number 3, Renee Retschlag and Amanda Beams.
Amanda Beams, reigning champion. Renee Retschlag has been runner-up twice. It's a fierce battle here. This is Adelaide v Port Adelaide kind of stuff.
Oy.
The showdown at the women's trophy. So PB's floating around 30 seconds here for both.
Quick.
Okay. Athletes, ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're often chopping the ladies. These are the two best of the best what Australia's got to offer. They're going to look to keep these times in and around that 40 to 50 second mark to get maximum points. Their PBs are around the mid-30s mark, so this is going to be very, very tight. They're looking very, very nice in the underhand. It's Beamsy that turns first. She's got a good technique going. How's it looking from where you're standing there, Dan?
Looks like Amanda Beams has come to get it done again, the defending champion.
She's looking nice here. Can she keep this thing under 40 and get the maximum points? That wood is starting to look a little slippery. Wait for the drivers, and bang! Ooh, is that near her PB? Ooh, outside of the PB by 4 seconds. Very, very quick. Renee's still looking solid here. Wants to get those drivers in and maximize her points. How's she doing? Look for the drivers. Make some noise for her, ladies and gentlemen.
Unofficial times, 46.9 for Renee Retschlag, Amanda Beams, 35.72.
Pretty impressive BT over the ladies there.
How good Beamsy. Was she fantastic.
Alrighty, over to the judges for the official decision.
Both cuts were good.
There it is. Alrighty, looks like a bit of a repeat from last year's. Amanda Beams taking up the maximum points, if my math is correct, which it often is not.
So what happens now with the girls? So they've done the first round,
Yep.
the first discipline.
Yep.
What next?
So we'll look up to the screen and we'll see the points. So it's basically maximum. So the fastest one there will get the maximum 6 points.
That'll be
Obviously-
Beamsy.
Yeah, and then down all the way through to 1. But of course there was a DQ, so it'll go 6 down to 2, and then we'll obviously go on to the next one, which is the stock store, which is the one that we said between the three of us, I think collectively would probably be our best one, with the assisted motor. So yeah, so they're going to do the stock saw. Now with the stock saw, a little bit different to the Champions Trophy. In the Champions Trophy, of course, it is just one cut down. With this one, they actually have to do 2 cookies. So they go down and they go up. They basically got about yay wide. It's about 15 centimeters, and they've got to cut between those. If one of their cookies is outside, they're going to have to give it another go.
And if you've got no space left, that is a DQ. So we'll see the leaderboard in a sec. It's going to be Beamsy on top, 6 points, and then we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and then sadly Gillian with a 0. That's okay. 2 more disciplines left to get it done, guys.
Now, Dan, I think we've actually got a few of the highlights from last year's competition on the screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, check out the big screen to see some of the best moments of last year's competition.
3, 2, 1, go.
The standard every year is just improving. All the girls are applying themselves. So they're all getting times, they're all putting points on the board, and yeah, you've got to be able to perform.
Alrighty, looks like we're ready to get this heat underway. Ladies and gentlemen, it's stock saw time. Alrighty, we ready to go? Let's make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for heat number 1. We have Debbie Clissold and Gillian Stratton.
Debbie Clissold placing first in the 2018 Women's Championship. She's back after a 2-year hiatus to win back her title. Of course, Gillian Stratton's going to be wanting to make up for a DQ in the first discipline, guys. She'll have that fire in her belly to get it done here.
Alrighty, over to the judges for this heat number 1.
Okay. Warm up your sores. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off. It looks like it's Debbie Clissold that gets the wood first. Gonna look to get nice clean cookies. First one up. Oh, she's cut outside. She's gone back on it. And I think that time it might cost her. It's gonna be close. Oh. Interesting stuff. She's going back for a third cookie. I had a feeling she was gonna do that.
Better to be safe than sorry, guys.
All right, give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that second cookie looked a bit dicey, so you want to make sure you're getting a clean cut. So now, what the problem's going to be here, Dan, BT, wherever you are, is that they've got to cut between, obviously, the lines there. So they've got, I think that's 15 centimetres. So the judge is going to be looking to make sure that she's cut within that. Unfortunately, going back for that third cookie is going to cost her the points. But we'll hand it over to the judges for the official decision here in heat number 1.
Both cuts were good.
Ooh, interesting. Alrighty. Alrighty, so having to cut for that third cookie is what's obviously cost her some time there.
Worth doing though, guys, because if she hadn't done that, it would have been a DQ if the cookie was incorrect.
Yeah.
So it's worth going back to do it because you never know what's going to happen in the rest of the heat. So instead of risk a DQ on the lower time, it's better to go back and just make sure you've got that successful cookie.
Alrighty, while we go in between there, BT, we might throw back to you. I know you're just lurking around in the crowd there. What's going on in the stands?
Not much. What are you thinking, sir? The women are fantastic so far, aren't they?
Oh, they're very good to watch. You know, it's great to see them getting into the sport and participating like they are.
Very, very competitive indeed. Looking forward to the next round. What are you thinking about this, sir? You're looking very stern there. You're loving it?
Loving it, mate. Absolutely.
Great day at the beach, isn't it? What about this beautiful Tassie day? No one at the beach, all over here watching. What about you? What are you liking about today?
I like the chainsaw.
The chainsaw is absolutely fantastic. And the kids up the back here, what about you guys? What are you thinking about today? This is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you love about it?
That they're all trying their best.
That they're all trying their best. You can't get any better than that. What about you, sir? What are you thinking about all of this? Have you just arrived?
Yeah, we've been here for a while.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good. What a day's action. It's free as well.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Oh, well, get into it. Back to you guys.
Good on you, BT. Happy to have BT on board, roving around in the crowd for us, guys.
Yep. Fantastic stuff. Alrighty, so Dan, that of course, we're looking to the heat here. We're going to get this next one underway, heat number 2. Very excited. We've got Jodie and Renee coming up very, very soon. Looking at their PBs, 13.78 and 16.60. Alrighty. Last minute, looks like we're nearly ready. Just waiting for the thumbs up, and we'll get these ladies on stage. As we sort of said, their PB's 13.78. Very, very quick. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, can we please give a big round of applause and welcome for heat number 2, Jodie Patel and Renee Retzlag.
So the way the seeding works here for these heats is based on the times from last year.
Yep.
So Debbie Clissold, Gillian Stratton, no times last year, didn't compete in this particular format. Gillian's competed before though. So she was put into that heat on stand 2. And then Jodie Patel, Renee Retzlag, times from last year, 20.29, 16.6.
All right, looks like we're going to be ready to rock on. We're going to hand it over to the judges to get this heat number 2 underway.
Okay. Warm up your sores. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Butel, stand A. Rechlag, stand B. Butel, personal best. 13.78, and she's got it done.
Yeah. Oh, she's
Oh,
going
going
back
back
for a third cookie. Never a good sign.
Again.
All righty, give a big round of applause, please. Go now, Adelaide.
Jodie Butel, clearly not happy with one of those cookies there.
So what have you got? You've got 150 mil, have you, to get 2 cuts in? Is that the way it works here?
Yeah, and so if one of their cookies or discs, depending on what you want to call it, is incomplete, they have to go back to the third one. But the problem sometimes can be if on the first or second one they've gone a little bit thick, and they obviously have to cut between that line.
We might have a problem here as red flag. The flag has gone up. And we could have a little problem here for Renee as they check it out.
Yeah, could be a DQ.
Look at them crawling over it.
Never
Always a worry, BT.
Oh. All righty, we're going to hand it over to the judges. I feel like we might have a population DQ 0. Over to you, Steve Lorenz.
We've got a good cut on stand A. Unfortunately, DQ'd on stand B. She's cut over the line.
Okay, all right. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Pardon the pun. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Tools of the Trade MS661 video, so check out to see what this beast is all about.
The STIHL MS661 CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional STIHL technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. There we go. So for this heat, that's what we're looking at, the 4 athletes who have gone through in this particular discipline thus far. Obviously, Renee, sadly, with the DQ before, that's going to be 0 points. And then there'll be 2 more athletes going in there. Potential, there's going to be 2 more points assigned. But anyone can jump up to the top of that leaderboard and take 6 points for this particular discipline. Gillian Stratton leading the way with a PB. Debbie Clissold with a PB there as well so far today. We've got 2 more athletes to come. Again, it's going to be Katrina Head taking on Amanda Beams, who has come to back up her glorious victory from last year. Incredible PBs up on the screen there. 15 seconds for Katrina Head, 13 for Amanda Beams. In fact, that 13.77 was set here last year by Amanda Beams, so she's in form. All right, let's welcome them up on stage, guys. You're back with us.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Katrina Head and Amanda Beams.
So Katrina Head's PB, 15.22. Last year she cut a 15.49. So she's in and around that mark. She's in form from her last attempt here.
Alrighty, the guys are just going to get themselves set. Let's hand it over to the judges to get this next heat underway.
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty.
We take a restart, please.
A little bit of a false start there. Hand it back to the judges.
Okay. Warm up your saws. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off. It's Beans that gets to the cookie first. Oh, she's doing nicely here, Katrina Head. Oh, they're neck and neck. Oh, she's gone back on it. She wants to get a clean cookie.
Beansy came in a bit shallow there, guys, and she has retaken it, Katrina Head. Brilliant time. Could be a PB for her if all is above board of 14.74. Unofficial time will probably come in a little bit.
Yeah.
Amanda Beams cutting a 18 at this stage.
Ignore the screen there, guys. I don't know how the slower time says first. But we're going to wait to make sure that both cuts are good. Didn't seem to be hanging there too long, which is always a good sign. Athletes to the front of the stage, and then we'll hand it over to the judges for the official decision in this heat number 3.
We've got a good cut on stand A. Unfortunately, stand B's cut over the line.
Ooh. All righty, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what Timber Sports is like. Unfortunately, you're going to have an absolute champion who powered through last year, and then a slide slip up, and we're over the line. We saw Amanda Beams come in a little bit shallow and then go in again for that second cooking and restart.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the crowd, we got some giveaways now. So if you want a flag, give the guys a bit of a wave. We're going to be giving out some free flags. There we go.
Make sure you keep these handy. We want to get them on the television, guys. We're going to get you all waving them back and forward.
Absolutely, and you might be able to see yourself on TV, of course. The STIHL Timber Sports series is live on 7 May. It goes throughout the year. Check your local guides to see what time it does for your particular state.
Yeah, Saturdays and Sundays. Generally, you can check it out every weekend, depending on where you are. But like I said, check those local guides. Sort of around midday most of the time, you'll be able to check out some STIHL Timber Sports action. Yeah.
So basically, a DQ pretty much rules you out.
DQ is not great when you've got 3 disciplines. Yeah, a 0 point is tough, but Beamsy has made up for that by getting herself a nice buffer there in the underhand chop of 6 points, which a DQ is really going to be painful.
I know what you're thinking, Dan. We want to see that leaderboard very soon. So when it is ready, we'd love to see the leaderboard so we can see where that, obviously, so Beamsy's gone from literally first to last, so maximum 0.6 to minimum points of 0. So where does that put her in terms of the competition?
That's
We're going to
right.
find out very soon.
So she'll be on 6 overall. We just add them together as we go. She'll be 6 overall, and we'll see where that puts her in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, DQ, very painful, guys.
Alrighty, BT, have we got you? I think BT's somewhere. I think you might have one of the guys for a bit of a chat. BT, where are you?
Good on you, guys. Thank you very much. Josh out here in the shed, mechanic shed, with all the saws. Tell us about how the saws and the evenness of them. I see you run all of the saws for the same amount of time in any one day.
Yeah, correct. Obviously, being in the stock saw class, as the name suggests, they're stock standard, as you'd buy them from our dealerships. So we make sure that they stay at that even playing field all day through. So making sure the chain tension is correct, that they're clean, and each athlete gets the same saw.
What if someone's got a sharper chain than the other person? How do you solve that problem?
We are very, we scrutinise them to a high level back here and ensure that every time they go up on the stage, they're as even as possible.
Well, you're putting new chains on, are you not?
Correctly.
Every event?
There is certain stages throughout the event that chains go on to.
Do the competitors get a chance to pick a saw?
At the start of the day, there is a draw for the saws, and then there is a sequence that the saws are placed on the stage throughout the day.
And just tell me about the chain bar oil here. You can see it's a Bio Plus. Tell me why Bio Plus.
Great for the environment. Obviously, the best brand oil that you can get as well from STIHL, and we also use our STIHL motor mix fuel too.
Have a look at these guys. They are absolutely frantic, preparing the next lot of saws for the next go. Back to you guys.
Thanks, BT. Fantastic stuff. Good to get some insights there, of course, on the products, the MS661, taking you through there, all the various products that do power the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS series. All right, now, Dan, very exciting stuff. We, of course, are through to the final round of competition for the ladies before we do get into the men's Australian Championship trophy for 2023. We, of course, have got a video which is the World Championship video from last year. So if you do want to turn your attention to the screens, we're going to show you some of the highlights from last year's World Championship competition.
In Gothenburg, Sweden.
Wow, some great time. That is insanity by Amanda Beebs. See again that Australian style of really using a quick axe to get into that wood. That single buck, it's a solid discipline for him, and look how smooth he is with the start of that saw. Absolutely incredible skill there, as the lead now really goes to Brad DeLosa. And a bronze medalist, Brad DeLosa!
Yeah, we did mention Australia's not bad when it comes to STIHL TIMBERSPORTS, taking on the chocolates over in Gothenburg, Sweden. Oh, there you are. Hello, everyone. Look up at the big screen. Give us a wave. Say, hi, Mum. I'm on TV. We're taping all this for 7 Mate. Most weekends. Check your local guides. You'll be able to check out STIHL TIMBERSPORTS. All the action from this year will be edited up and broadcast eventually. But a lot of the previous years getting a run, spinning around there on 7 Mate.
All right, we've actually got a bit of a video just to run you through the single buck and how it works. So turn your attention to the TV screens and we'll show you what it's all about.
The STIHL stock saw is the first of our sawing events. Placing both hands on the trunk of the 40-centimetre block, athletes must reach for their chainsaws on the sound of the gun and cut 2 perfect cookies within the allocated 10 centimetres.
Alrighty, now we'll show you the right video.
With its peg and raker system, the athlete pushes and pulls the 2-metre cross-cut single buck saw through a 40-centimetre pine log. The aim is to cut off a single cookie within the allocated 10 centimetres of wood.
Alrighty, exciting stuff. I think we're nearly ready to rock and roll to get the athletes onto stage. So this, of course, is the single buck. This, of course, is the final round of competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I please get a big round of applause as we welcome our Heat 1 competitors in the single buck, Amanda Beebs and Renee Retschlag. Alrighty, so they're just, of course, getting those first few cuts in, so they of course, can get the saws ready. Now, we know this one, as we sort of spoke about throughout the competition, we've been explaining to BT as we've gone, of course, as well. This thing is called the Misery Rip, and it's called the Misery Rip for a reason, Wascal Wabbits.
It's so painful it can affect his speech from 20 metres away.
Dear. Alrighty, so of course we've got the leaderboard there. So Katrina Head, they've got the maximum 8 points. Butel, Clifton and Beams 7. So actually second and third are equal on 7. Beamsy could still win it with the things she needs to obviously get the maximum points here and hope for a low thing with Head.
Okay. Athletes, ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off and soaring. Nice, conservative, safe cuts initially before they're going to look to get those longer strokes in. It is interesting, obviously, seeing between the competitors the height differences in terms of how long they can get on the strokes. Both looking very, very good so far. I don't want to give a commentator's curse here, but they are working through it nicely. I'd probably give the slight edge to Beams here. She's working through it very, very quickly. She's going to be close to her PB here, guys. PB, well, she got one, but it didn't affect her too much. 25.65, boys. Very impressive.
Renee Retschlag just pushing through. There it is. The cookie crumbles.
Now, interesting. All right, so Beams there, so Amanda Beams with her PB was 19.26, so a little bit outside of her PB. Will that
She
be
set
enough?
that last year, Gaz, here.
Yes.
When she took out the women's trophy. This very venue 1 year ago.
Time flies when you're not in lockdown.
Don't forget, according to everyone else that's been up there, the logs are a bit tougher this year, a bit
100%.
harder, aren't they?
That's a good point, BT. All right, we're going to hand it over to the judges for the official decision in this heat number 1.
Both cuts were good.
Hey, that's what we like to see.
So Beamsy's time is the time to beat where we're at currently, 25.65. If she wins this particular discipline, that'll put her on 12 points overall.
Is that enough to win it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Right.
BT, yeah.
Well,
look, it depends, it depends on disqualifications. It
Yeah.
depends how everything else goes, but...
It's hard to get the DQ in this one.
It's got to go perfect for her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
and,
it's
and
like-
very poorly for everyone else.
Like so Amanda Beams' time then is faster than every other girl's PB. But the problem is going to be because of that DQ with the 0 points, all these girls need to do is get a third or a fourth, and those points will be enough to maximise it. Those DQs really are, it's pretty much game over. So
Yeah, you don't want to DQ.
when there's only 3 disciplines, when the guys do it, there's up to 5. I think we have. So you've got you've got the extra sort of disciplines. So if you do get a DQ, there is a sort of chance to come back and get a few points. When
Well,
it's
there
only
can be
3,
6 guys with the hot saw as well.
Now,
I thought those guys were carrying the bench seats out for someone to sit on before, but it's actually the saw, the protection cover for the saws.
Yeah, they're very old school, isn't it?
And
The
they're
older
valuable.
view.
They're very valuable, and they're precision equipment.
Now, I think we've actually got one of the new STIHL products that we're actually going to show you on the screen. Very, very exciting to be showing you this here. So check out the screens to see what the best in the trade for STIHL.
Righto, Tim. STIHL battery tools. STIHL expert advice. And service. Only available from
a STIHL store.
STIHL tools, support and advice. STIHL only from STIHL dealers.
All right, without further ado, we're going to get our athletes onto stage for this second heat. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please give a big South Australian welcome to Jodie Butel and Katrina Head. Alrighty, exciting stuff here. So the ladies, their PBs, so Jodie Butel is actually quite good, 26.50. She's going to need to break her PB if she wants to get the maximum points. But to get a place on the podium, she's just going to want to be keeping it under 30, I would say.
Yeah, we're going to need to see PBs here to get the
To get the
top
maximum
time,
points.
guys. That's right.
Got a cloud in the sky here. It's beautiful. Of course, so they've both obviously got their helpers, and I can actually spot former chopperoo Jimmy Head. He's, of course, assisting his wife.
Wedging.
Wedging, that's what it's called.
Just separating that cookie slightly from the wood.
I don't think they can have the spray anymore, is that right?
The lubrication.
Yeah, they used to have a spray. I think that's been removed. Maybe I dreamt that, I'm not sure. All right, let's get in those first few cuts in to get things ready. It looks like we're nearly ready to rock and roll here. So without further ado, we might hand it over to the judges to get this second heat in the single buck underway.
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and soaring. Butel versus Head. Nice even strokes to get things underway. Want to minimise those hang-ups to get those long strokes going through. Both ladies looking good here. Both are in the opportunity to get maximum points and, of course, take out the title for the Australian Championship Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind them.
Jamie Head egging on Katrina here. He started the wedging process now. Butel on stand A, personal best of 26.5. I think she's come in under, and that's what she needed to do. Katrina Head also setting a PB here.
Hey, give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Both made PBs, unofficial times, of course, but it usually, if anything, it always comes down. It never goes up. It always slightly goes down by a couple of milliseconds.
Yeah, it generally gets revised in. That's right. What we got to do before any of that, though, is make sure the cuts are good. I don't think we're going to have any problems here. Let's find out.
All right, over to the judges.
Both cuts were good.
Hey, there we go. Maximum points.
And 2 PBs.
2 PBs. What a time to be alive. All right, so we have one more heat to go, and this could decide it. If we can, we might get a live leaderboard. I hate to put the guys up in the tower on the spot, but it would be good, and it would be very exciting, of course, to see the live leaderboard. So we know the last 2 competitors, boys, we know what they need to be getting time-wise to take out the trophy. And so everyone, of course, watching here and in sunny 3 degrees Berlin at home can see what they need.
It feels like -2.
Party time. Alrighty. So while we get things reset, we'll see how we go with the live leaderboard. Just so we know what the last 2 competitors, of course, we've got Gillian Stratton and Debbie Clissold are going to be competing for.
Rightio, let's focus in on the single buck. Eyes up on the big screen. The 2-metre-long cross-cut saws used for the single buck discipline are made especially for competitive sport. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimetre-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand-sharpened to an extremely sharp point. Cutters that slice through the timber and rakers that clear the chip out from the cut, just like on vintage saws. The saws weigh about 5 kilos and cost upwards of $3,000. Anywhere from $3,000 those beasts are worth, Gaz.
Alrighty, so boys, this is what we were talking about. This is the live leaderboard. So, so what we can see here, so the 25-3-6, Amanda Beams with the 6 points. What we'd love to, maths is not my strong one. It'd be good to see what these ladies, of course, need to get here for them to get the maximum points. I think we're nearly ready to bring them on stage. Yes. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause and welcome in for heat number 3, Gillian Stratton and Debbie Clissold.
I wonder if we could get that leaderboard, overall leaderboard, back up on the big screen, and we can try and do a little bit of math on the fly here to work out. Here we go, overall standings. Katrina Head, Jodie Butel up the top there. So Amanda Beams, who's got 660. That gets into the 12. Up on stage now, Gillian Stratton on 5, so it's going to be out of reach for her because maximum points is going to be 11. Clissold could get it done here. Okay, so she could go up to 13 points if she can beat Jodie Butel's time.
But if it's even points, who wins? If they're all on 12?
We go back to time.
Count
back on time.
Of course.
Which we've done before.
What does that mean with the DQ though? Like for the second one?
That'll be a judge's decision.
We'll go to the big screen.
It's above our pay grade, boys.
BT will decide. Special guest judge.
Coin toss, boys. Coin toss.
How tense is it? Tense.
Okay, so
I tell you, it always comes down to the last one. Doesn't matter what's happened.
Basically, here's your math. If Clissold can come in under 25 seconds, she's going to win it.
Okay.
So watch that. Watch stand B in under 25.
That was all I was asking.
Also went to a public school. You just didn't pay attention.
I think it's called ADH something. 80, I don't know.
You forgot the name.
80 times of it.
That's how little you pay attention.
Sure.
All right, this is tense. This is what we do it for. STIHL Timbersports. It all comes down to this, the Women's Australian Trophy for 2023.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Final heat.
Okay, athletes ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off and racing. Make some noise. Let's get behind them for this final heat, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
So Clissold on stand B. If she comes in under 25, she can take out the women's trophy for 2023. That means she's got 8 seconds left to get it done. 5 seconds now. Egg her on, ladies and gents.
She's getting hard out. Oh, she's got to hang up. That's not a complete cookie either.
Wow.
Ooh, that might be a DQ, potentially. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, give a round of applause.
Well done.
Unofficial times, 34.15 stand 1, 28.13 stand 2. She did go back to the cookie there and had to get that last bit. If she didn't do that, that would be an incomplete cut and it would be a DQ. That'd make things interesting.
If it's enough to rest the saw on,
Yes.
it's a DQ.
Yes. Now, and they often put the cookie back together. And
She's entering a plea. She looks like she's got the judges in the pocket at the moment.
She's trying to negotiate from 3 weeks down to 2. BT.
Early plea. Here we go. Over the judges.
Both cuts were good.
There you go. So that little bit that was left there on the cookie was not deemed enough to support a saw. So that is a legitimate cookie.
Okay, so we have equal first, from what I can see with the points. So it might come down to times. So we literally are going to have the ladies on stage, and I think we'll know about as much as the rest of the crowd here, which is always very exciting, boys.
Well, imagine if we do a count back on time, a DQ is going to count, you know, as like an infinity, essentially.
Yeah, well,
that's very bad.
2 minutes,
So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. So any other time will be a DQ.
Yeah, not good.
So they really hurt you, those DQs. Yeah, 0 points, and then on a count back for time, they're basically going to disqualify you overall.
Alrighty. Couple of minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring the women up onto the stage and we're going to announce our third, second, and first. Very, very exciting stuff. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Joe Katsos, Head of Marketing at STIHL, who's going to be presenting, of course, our winners third, second, and first. You enjoyed today so far?
Yes, it's been fantastic. Very great to see the crowd here. Thank you so much for all of your engagement and excitement.
Well, Head of Marketing, thanks for paying for it all. It's been a pleasure. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring all the ladies on stage, I believe, and then what we're going to do, we're obviously going to count it down third, second, and first. So without further ado, are we going to bring the ladies onto stage? I believe we are. All right, ladies, let's get all the ladies on stage. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Gillian Stratton, Debbie Clissold, Katrina Head, Jodie Butel, Renee Lechlake, and of course, Amanda Beams. Give a big round of applause, our competitors for the Women's Australian Championship Trophy 2013. Come around the back, ladies. Lovely to see you all.
All right, from the 6. There can be only one, but we'd like to commend all of our athletes up on stage. Let's give them all a round of applause collectively. And then we'll do 3 honourable mentions. And then we'll go third, second, first, Gaz Kempster. I think first will be obvious by that stage.
Wow.
We've mentioned everyone else.
That's usually how it works, but play on. Alrighty, so in 6th place, give a big round of applause for Gillian Stratton, ladies and gentlemen.
6 points overall. Well done to Gillian. In 5th place with 7 points overall, Renee Retschlag.
This is crazy. On 11 points, which actually tied for 3rd, but it's obviously done on time. Make some noise for Debbie Clissold. All right, now it gets fun.
Now we're talking podium. Now you did mention there it was tied on 11 points, Gaz, but just edging out Debbie on time in 3rd place, Katrina Head. We'll get Joe from marketing to present her with the medal there. Thank you, Joe.
Alrighty, equal 12 points. Amanda Beams coming in at 2nd place, ladies and gentlemen. Is that right?
Beamsy, first last year, second this year,
That's
which means Jodie Butel is the Australian Trophy Women's Champion for 2023. As Gaz mentioned, equal on points. Edged her out on time quite significantly with a total time of 1 minute 39. Beamsy's total time 4 minutes there because of that DQ. Sensational from Jodie.
What a huge effort by Beamsy, though. Got DQ'd in 1 and still came in 2nd place.
And well done to Jodie. She came 4th place last year. Give it up.
Make some noise!
Jodie's the holder of the stock saw and single buck national record, and now she's also an Australian Trophy winner for 2023. I think we're just getting a few pictures here, ladies. I know it looks all good, but the photos will be worth it.
We won't ruin your shots just yet, don't worry.
Keep the applause going, ladies and gents. While we get a couple more snaps here, then we're going to have a little break, guys, and we'll come back with the Men's Australian Trophy Championship.
I believe so, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back at 2:30 for the men's. So in that time, grab yourself some food, grab yourself some drinks, but don't go anywhere because the men's competition is coming up and it is going to be very, very exciting. We've got the competitors 5 to 8, and then, of course, they're going to be fighting it out to compete in the top 4 and taking out the Men's Australian Championship Trophy for 2023.
Congratulations to our ladies competitors. Excellent work, paving the way, showing the men how it's done.
Yep. All right, once you get to their photo there, Dan's just going to grab our winner, our Australian champion, women's winner, Jodie Butel. All right, Jodie, Jody's going to grab you for a quick sec. Dan, you want to have a quick chat with our winner?
Geez, it's just no rest for the wicked, Jodie. You've just done all of that, and then we make you hold that up over your head like it's some sort of workout after all of it. How are the arms? How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. I can probably hold this up for a bit just because I won, so that's not much more effort, right?
4th last year? 4th place last year, 1st place this year. What did you do in that intervening time? Much training? How did that unfold?
Lots of work on my underhand, and that played a part today, so I'm really proud of that. It was not my best run today, as all the other girls will say. That was really not a really clean run for any of us today, but it just proves that not DQing in any event can win you the comp, and it did today for me, so...
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Those DQs can be very tough. What is it about today? Is it tougher conditions? Is it tougher wood? What's brought that difficulty into it?
Just, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves personally to do good. I mean, we can all do it when we're at home in the training, like in the backyard training. But when you get to this stage and you've got that crowd out there, you've got another competitor beside you, and you've got your own mind telling you, I guess, not supporting you the most sometimes, that's what makes it hard.
And how are we celebrating tonight?
We've got a 6:10 flight tomorrow, so I don't know how much celebrating, but maybe this afternoon we'll be over in the VIP tent having a few beers together. So,
well, get started early then would be my advice if you got an early start. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for our Australian champion 2023, It's a nice little spot right there for you. Good on you, Jodie Butel.